The date is Wednesday, December 18. This is the news on PBCJ. I am Simone Absalom. 4.1 million euros has been injected in the Caribbean Public Health Agency CARPA's efforts to combat mosquito-borne diseases in the Caribbean region. The European Union is releasing the funds as part of its commitment to assisting the region with health security, especially as mosquito-borne diseases such as Zika and dengue threaten both the health of the regional population and general productivity, as well as the important tourism sector. CARPA Executive Director Dr. Joy St. John says the funds will be used to address many of the elements of capacity building that the Caribbean needs, such as laboratory strengthening, training in integrated vector management, insecticide resistance testing, and behavior change interventions. The EU says that the assistance will be channeled through a 4-year health strengthening program designed to further improve the prevention, detection, and control of outbreaks of mosquito-borne diseases. Speaking at a local government press conference on Tuesday in Kingston, Jamaica's local government minister said that the government is to ramp up its efforts to eradicate the mosquito-borne disease.
The problem we're facing with the dengue outbreak is of real concern. On the 27th of this month, the day following Boxing Day, there'll be a meeting here with all the mayors, the CEOs, the Ministry of Health, Fire, and a number of persons to look at the new program that we'll be rolling out to deal with this dengue outbreak that is taking place. It is something that is of concern, and it is something that we are taking very seriously. And out of this meeting is going to be a more expansive joint operation between the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Local Government.
Former Education Minister Will Reid and Professor Fritz Pinnock, president of the Caribbean Maritime University, are set to get back in court on Wednesday. The Supreme Court is scheduled to hear the application for judicial review of the case against the two men. Hugh Wildman, lead attorney for Mr. Reid and Professor Pinnock, filed the application in October. The two accused are challenging the decision by the Financial Investigation Division, FID, to lay charges against them on the basis that the FID is purely an investigative body and does not have the legal authority to lay charges. On October 9, Mr. Reid, his wife Sharon, and their daughter Sherelle, as well as Professor Pinnock and Councillor Kim Brown-Lawrence of the St. Anne Municipal Corporation, were arrested and charged arising from a corruption probe at CMU at the Ministry of Education. The five are out on bail and scheduled to return to court on January 23. Motorists are being cautioned against speeding on the roads this Christmas. Commissioner of the Jamaica Fire Brigade, JFB, Stuart Beckford, said in a press brief on Tuesday that the Jamaica Fire Brigade is increasingly being asked to respond to motor vehicle accidents along roadways.
Jamaica Fire Brigade is involved in responding to motor vehicle accidents on our roadways. And I think we are seeing too many of that these days. So for example, for this year, we would have responded to approximately 946 motor vehicle accidents across Jamaica, and this is a 12% increase over the 846 that we had in 2018. And what we are seeing, ladies and gentlemen, is that these scenes are getting more gory than previous scenes. Persons seem to be driving a lot faster. I'm not sure if it's because of the new highways, but the speeds that we are seeing on the road, you know, is resulting in some of these accidents. So I'm imploring motorists to take it easy on our highways and byways this Christmas season.
At the same time, Beckford said while there has been a 19% decrease in the number of people killed in fires this year, the brigade is still concerned.
Since January, between January and November, we would have responded to 12,881 fire calls. and this is 798 more than we would have responded to in 2018. Sorry, an increase of about 7%. And a lot of this is due to the extended drought that we would have experienced between January and September of this year. So we would have seen an increase in our call count for bushfires.
There has been significant reduction in the number of applications for entertainment permits this month compared to the same period last year. That's the word from the head of the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, Mayor Delroy Williams. He made the disclosure at a media briefing Tuesday afternoon.
The noise abatement for us, Minister, is that even though residents are concerned, for us, we really do. Last year, we have over 700 events in December. We're not anywhere near that. So for residents, to me, it would be better for them, for this December period, if you just look at the data, than last year. Legal events than last year, approved events. And so I would say the data suggests otherwise. That this December should be far easier on the residents.
Mr. Williams has called for the establishment of a music advisory board to address issues concerning entertainment events and the Noise Abatement Act. He said this is necessary to find solutions to the divergent views between some residents and the entertainment industry and to have a compromise. The process to select the new owners of the Money Musk Sugar Factory in Clarendon begins on Friday. Yalas International Inc., who lost its bid to purchase the Trelawney-based Long Pond Estates in the 1990s, is set to meet with the Sugar Enterprise team set. Reports are that at least 5 companies, including firms from India and the United States, are down to court the Sugar Enterprise team. A senator for Jamaica has been appointed at the World Business Angels Investment Forum. That senator is founder and president of First Angels Jamaica, Sandra Glasgow. Glasgow is to represent Jamaica at the Grand Assembly of the WBAF. An affiliated partner of the G20 Global Partnership for Financial Inclusion, the WBAF is an international organization aiming to increase access to finance for businesses from startup to scale-up, with the ultimate goal of generating more jobs and more social justice worldwide. It is committed to collaborating globally to empower and world economic development by creating innovative financial instruments for innovators, startups, and SMEs. The inclusion of Jamaica in WBAF provides a wide range of opportunities for Jamaica's startups, scale-ups, and high-growth businesses and opens doors for economic development. Just about 2,000 youths enjoyed the Prime Minister's annual Christmas treat for children recently. The event, which started in 2016 with about 500 children at Bay Royal, the Prime Minister's official residence, has increased and now caters to as many as 2,000 youngsters. Busloads of children ranging from ages 3 to 18 converged at the venue on Sunday to be feted. They were treated to gifts, food, cart rides, and a range of other fun activities, including face painting, mechanical bull rides, simulated rock climbing, and instant photo sessions. Prime Minister Andrew Holness noted that each year the treat gets bigger as more children, including those from his constituency of St. Andrew West Central, as well as the St. Andrew East Rural constituency of his wife Juliet, are invited to attend. The US dollar on Tuesday, December 17, ended trading at $134.74, up by 27 cents. That's according to the Bank of Jamaica's daily exchange trading summary. The Canadian dollar ended trading at $103.10, up from $102.62, while the British pound sterling ended trading at $177.54, down from $178.61. In regional news, we go to Dominica. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit has taken 6 different portfolios in the new Dominica Labour Party cabinet, which was installed on Tuesday. A release from the Government Information Service states that Prime Minister Skerrit has been appointed to the office of Minister for Finance, Economic Affairs, Investment, Planning, Resilience, Sustainable Development, telecommunications and broadcasting. The Prime Minister took the oath of office, oath of allegiance and oath of secrecy at a short ceremony at the office of the President on Tuesday. Among the invited guests were Barbados Prime Minister Mia Mottley, St. Vincent and the Grenadines Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves, and Antigua and Barbuda's Prime Minister Gaston Brown. They hailed Skerritt's historic fifth term and congratulated the nation. The ruling Dominica Labour Party secured 18 seats over the United Labour Party's 3 in the December 6 polls. However, the lead-up to the elections was marred by protests, violence and threats.
I know that this country is not for sale. And I know that this country too will never, ever be subject to a coup by electoral observer mission. We do it the fair way. We start to line up, polls open at 7. We start to line up at 5 o'clock. And we provide a quiet yet deafening answer to those who would want to subvert the will of the people. And very quietly, the people of Dominica gave the message.
We are here conscious that elections are times when a society and a people can reflect. But when the election is over, then the singular purpose of building a nation and forging a people must occupy us all. Prime Minister, you have done what many have dreamt of and what few have achieved. And for that, you must be congratulated. For there is no other way to put it, that you have done so also against the background of forging a new path for the women of this nation is an inspiration not just for the women of Dominica, but for the women of the Caribbean.
That is why I said, just before the last general elections, that Dominicans should guard against those who seek to burn this country into the ground so that it could become king of the ashes. And I said that not to interfere in your domestic politics, but in protection of my own country. Because I realized that if there were individuals who were able to achieve the governance of this country through violence, then they will import it in Antigua and Barbuda. So it was in my interest and the interest of the people of Antigua and Barbuda to stand against electoral violence. And you have sent a message. You have made it abundantly clear that violence in politics will not pay. And those who persist in violence in politics will surely pay.
Mr. Skerritt also used his inauguration speech to address what he termed as rampant misinformation leading up to the election.
Political pundits will no doubt be talking about and analyzing Dominica's election results for a very long time. It was, to use a popular expression, one for the history books. It made me proud to be Dominican. Not because the results favored the Labour Party and me, but because it showed the maturity and intelligence of the ordinary Dominicans who were inundated with and had to wade through a flood of information and a considerable amount of real and fake news before making their decision. The Dominican electorate was fed a daily diet of information and misinformation from multiple sources, inside and outside Dominica. We saw ourselves and events in our country portrayed in the most negative light in the regional and international media.
The swearing-in ceremony for other members of cabinet also took place on Tuesday afternoon. Venezuelan lawmakers are now able to vote on legislation without being present, a response to a government crackdown that has left dozens of legislators in hiding or in exile. Venezuela's opposition-run Congress approved the measure on Tuesday. The reform to voting procedures increases the number of legislators who would be eligible to participate in the January 5 election for congressional leadership. Opposition leader Juan Guaido, who in January cited articles of the Constitution to assume an interim presidency, is seeking re-election. In sports, a new head coach of Jamaica's senior Reggae Girls is to be named soon. Former Reggae Girls assistant coach Lorne Donaldson is the name being circulated as the man who will replace former coach Hugh Menzies. Donaldson assisted Menzies during the Reggae Girls' historic qualifications for the 2019 FIFA Women's World Cup in France. Menzies did not renew his contract after a fallout with the Jamaica Football Federation over compensation and poor communication. The first assignment for the new coach will be to lead the girls through the CONCACAF Final Round Olympic qualifiers, which takes place in the United States from January 28 to February 9. And that's the news on PBCJ. Thanks for watching.